Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The Eastern Cape will be honoring political and religious pioneer James Arthur Calata as part of its heritage celebrations. A memorial will be unveiled in Keiskammahoek, honoring Calata, who was the Secretary General of the African National Congress from 1936 to 1949. He was also appointed a canon of the Grahamstown Cathedral, making him the first black canon in the Anglican Church of Southern Africa. The ANC's provincial headquarters is also named after Calata. For more on the story, let's cross to our colleague Abongile Jantjies. Abongile, thank you so much. Sounds like an exciting event. What's happened so far this morning?
Indeed, Desiree, a very exciting morning for the Eastern Cape province, as they will be honoring Calata himself. He has been hailed as a pioneer in community development here in Keiskammahoek. This is where he lived most of his life, and he was trying to, in his life he tried to merge politics and the religious sector. We're at a school, we're at a church now where it's one of his development, and behind me is the monument which is said to be unveiled by the Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane later on today, where he'll give the lecture today on his life and what he stood for. He was also a teacher not too far from at a school not too far from here, St. Matthew's. It is also a religious school, and it's still today. It's still that religious school where people who are part of the Christian life, where that's where they can stay. That's where they study. They choose to study here in the Eastern Cape, and people from all walks of life do come to that school, even though it's it's in a rural area. But to tell us more about what will happen here today and what's set to be happening, I'm joined by the MEC of Arts and Culture, Ms. Fezeka Nkomonya. MEC, a very good morning to you. Kindly tell us what's set to take place today.
Good morning, Abongile, and the SABC News viewers at home. It is indeed a very exciting morning for us today as the people of the province of the Eastern Cape. Viewers would understand that yesterday was the Heritage Day and was celebrated nationwide, wherein the President gave an address. But today, as the province of the Eastern Cape, we thought we should tell our own story, a story of a rich heritage and a rich history in terms of the contribution towards the transformation of this country. We are called the home of the legends, and that is by no mistake, because we have produced great leaders like Canon James Calata, who, as you have indicated earlier on, was prominent in terms of the development, a pioneer of transformation in South Africa. His involvement started as early as 1926, when he was ordained as a deacon of the Anglican Church, the church that we are standing in front of today. A deacon who not only was concerned about how religion could contribute into the transformation of this country, but he made sure that education is also important. He was involved in politics, we see, and the history tells us that he was a Secretary General of the ANC nationally around the years of 1936. So today we are honoring a man who has contributed immensely in the transformation of this country. Now, I want to make the viewers understand why we have opted to utilize today. We did not want to take the spotlight of yesterday, but we thought it would be best that we share to the national liberation and resistance movement in this country, as well as make our children understand who we are, because if we don't tell our story, someone else is going to tell our story using his lens or her lens. So it would be important that the next generation understands who we are so that we can be able to move forward.
I understand that this monument it's still in its first phase, and it will be completed in the next financial year. So far, you spent 160,000 with it. Is it enough to honor such a legend, such a person who gave so much for this country and for this province.
It certainly is not enough, Abongile, to just put up a monument. And I think this is what we have always been saying since the beginning of this month, that no amount of honoring in terms of statues or monuments would clearly indicate the role that would have been played by those who were before us. But I think what is important is that here we are about to tell a story so that the children who goes to this missionary school can come here and read and understand the contribution that was made by James Calata. But I think it is important that in our own actions as the communities and the people of the province of the Eastern Cape, our values and belief should always emulate the aspirations of those who were before us. And I think in that way we would be able to honor those who have contributed in the heritage of this province.
How is the province doing in terms of this Heritage Month? Are things going as planned in terms of celebrating heritage and the economic spin-offs that are expected to come with heritage and these themes that are yearly done? Is the province making sufficient coming from a lockdown which we're still in?
We certainly are making headways, Abongile, because if you remember, we are just fresh from level 2 of the lockdown, wherein the restrictions were very strict. We could not even gather more than 50 people in one venue. So it has been a very difficult period. But now that there's a relaxation in terms of gatherings, we are able to commemorate such heroes as James Calata with at least a bigger number of people. But in terms of tourism and how we are booming, because at the beginning of the month I indicated that we are in a bid to combine and merge tourism together with heritage, because if you go to all the other provinces, we are a unique province in that we have a beautiful heritage that combines very well with tourism. So we are grateful that in the tourism sector they have launched this month as a tourism month, and as the festivities are going to be coming up as the festive season, we are seeing a lot of tourists coming into the province, exploring our adventure, exploring our beautiful beaches and the coastline, exploring our beautiful culture and heritage. So it's a beautiful combination, and we are hoping that the relaxation in terms of regulations would boost the economy. But however, we would want to urge people to continuously wear their mask, wash their hands, and continue to practice social distancing so that the second wave does not visit us.
Going forward, what can we expect? This month will surely end, and going forward, what can we expect in terms of picking up that economic sector for the province?
We expect going forward a collaboration of tourism as well as heritage. Right now we are in Kobokob. There's a lot of other tourist attraction centers that will tell a rich heritage of the province of the Eastern Cape. Right above there is a grave of the regent Maqoma, who contributed immensely as well in terms of the heritage and the resistance towards the apartheid regime. We are told that of the 9 frontier wars that were fought in this province, he fought and was successful in 7 of those. So these are the areas that we would want to encourage even our visitors, even our pupils that are attending school, that they must familiarize themselves with the history of the province, because that is very important. It tells the people who we are.
I thank you so much, MEC, for your time, and all the best for today.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Well, Desiree, that was the MEC for Arts and Culture in the Eastern Cape, Ms. Fezek Ngomonye, telling us about the events that are set to take place here today. Well, we hope to bring you more as each event unfold. And from us here, myself, Abongile Jantjies, and my colleague Vuyoka Zifunani, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, and we'll continue to follow developments there. Abongile Jantjies.